Next up is from Wendy. Can you share what your day-to-day activities look like with such a lengthy to-do list? It's always a challenge to prioritize. I'm not making any money to hand off tasks to someone else. So between making products, writing blog posts and emails, tech issues, fixing audit errors, and making sales pages, landing pages, and opt-in boxes, how do you balance it all? Thank you. I love planning. When I'm in a bad mood, I make lists. It makes me happy. Okay, so Wendy, this is what I did before I could hire people. I made a Google Doc, one doc listed every day of the week. So I work 7 days a week. So I had Sunday through Saturday. And I wrote down everything that needed to be done for each day. And I made a list. So on Monday of this week, I write my newsletter for my homesteaders and it gets mailed out on Wednesday. So that's what it says on Monday. Write my homesteading newsletter. And then on Sunday, I do all the planning for the week ahead. And on Saturday, I write my homesteading blog post. And I have like 5 to 10 tasks that get done every single day like clockwork, which is the bare minimum of what needs to be done. And I have it laid out in a way that I'm not working 20 hours one day and 2 hours the next day. I have it all evenly spread out throughout the week. So I had to tweak when some of my newsletters went out because I have 2 blogs plus blogging on point. So I basically have 3 businesses that I'm doing. And I did 2 blogs by myself before I hired people. So I really had to be focused on exactly what I did every single day. So in the morning, everybody knows their key creativity zone. And Caroline and ours and mine is in the early morning. So the first 3 hours of every single day, I write content. Whether it be a newsletter, I look at my Google Doc to see what I'm working on that day. If it's a blog post, I do that. If it's a newsletter, I do that. If it's batch writing all of my social media posts, I do that. And that is what I do every single morning. I write all of that content. And then my Google Doc for that day tells me what else needs to be done. So it's a lot of work in the beginning, but once it's done, it's done. Yeah. And then I'll just open up the Google Doc. And as I do something, I highlight it in yellow so I know it's done. And then at the start of each week, I take all of the highlight off and I start fresh with the same list, brand new for the week ahead. And I've been doing it that way for over a year. And it works really, really well.
I was just going to say, I'm a tree killer. Post-it notes are my jam. Every morning on every single thing that is rattling around inside of my brain gets its own Post-it. And I write everything down. I usually have it on my whiteboard, but I didn't today because I accidentally hit dismiss instead of snooze on my alarm clock. So I was not prepared. I literally write down on my calendar and it says inside of the quick wins, today, tomorrow, this week, and then eventually. And everything that winds up in the eventually column, I will delegate, because that to me means that if I keep doing things, like the important things every day will get done. Mm-hmm. I need to spend time here. I need to spend time in Instagram. I need to make sure that all of my posts are scheduled to go out, even though I already have them scheduled like way behind the scenes. All of those different kinds of things that I make sure are going on. And to me, that is an indication of what I need to focus on, and anything that can ever get delegated away. I know I read that. Hang on. Anything that can ever get delegated, or everything that keeps getting pushed around to, I'll get to it tomorrow, is something that I can delegate. That's something that falls by the wayside. So whatever that is, to me, it's things like downloading videos, uploading things, making sure I respond to all of the emails of I've lost my download link. I hand off to somebody else because that always gets pushed off to tomorrow, or I'll get to it eventually. I do it that way because I'm a physical person. Like I can't do things digitally because I have too many children. I have too many children. Yeah. And I'm also a stickler. Tracy knows this about me. I am a stickler about my weekends off. I will respond to Facebook messages occasionally. I have 4 and we're moving. But that means that I have even less time to fiddle faddle. Mm-hmm. And that's when being able to hand things off and knowing what I can hand off is really important. And we have an amazing team that backs us. Tracy has been trying to take so much on. She's like, oh, I can do it. I And our VAs have been like, no, you have hired us to help us, them to help. No, you're not doing this.
Left in me. It's just, for me, it's just easier to do it than explain how to do it. And they're working with me, and it was an intervention that was needed.
But here's the intervention that you guys might need too, okay? It might take a while to explain, but think about how much time of yours, of high productivity time, you will save by not being bogged down by things that take a lot of time that you hate to do, or that are just like, ugh, I have to do this. Even things like downloading videos and uploading them different places, doing YouTube videos, making thumbnails, any number of those kinds of like smaller tasks that take up a lot of time that are real pains in the bum, hand it off. Imagine what that would feel like if it takes you 2 hours a day to have whatever it is, deal with your inbox. If you could hand that off to somebody else, what would you do with 10 extra hours every week?
And I do want to jump in and say that when we talk about people that work for us, we're not spending tens of thousands of dollars on these.
No.
I don't want you guys to think I just don't have the money for it. Here's the thing. My first VA, I think I spent $50 a month. So it's not, and the time that got freed up,
Yeah.
I was able to use it in a way that made me more money. So it ended up being a really good trade-off. And last year, Caroline knows about this. Last year in January, I said, I am going to commit myself to reinvest every single penny that I make into hiring a team to see if it helps me catapult my business to the next level for 3 months. I did it January, February, and March. And if it doesn't work, I was letting everyone go. And if it did, I was going to keep them. And I let my team know that, guys, if this works, you get to work for me. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have to let you know. And I let 2 people go, and I kept everybody else. And guess what? It did catapult me to the next level. It threw me into the next level because it freed up so much time for me that I was able to really put my focus into products, email growth, and freebie creation, which is my favorite thing to do. So sometimes you have to take the plunge. But if you tell yourself, I'm going to hire help for 1 month, let that person know that they're going to work for you for 1 month, and just see where your business is 30 days from that starting point. You might be surprised at how it works out.
Because then again, guys, let's think of it this way. You are buying back your time. My coach was the first person who I ever heard that talk about
Love that line.
Delegating like that. When I heard it that way, I was like, she asked the question. She's like, what would you do if you had 10 extra hours a week? I don't even know what I would do with all that time. She's like, that's what it's like when you hire somebody to help you. I was like, my mind is officially blown.
Boom.
Blown. So
but it's all about your mindset. And I think you hearing those words that way is what you needed to hear at that time. So I think that's huge.
What?